It has long been known that in Mother Nature's plan, fatal mistakes often occur that lead to the death of unfortunate animals. Many people believe that it is better to stay in the shadows and not interfere in the natural course of life. But sometimes there are cases when a person simply must show mercy and do his part to save animals in trouble. In our story, the main character was confronted with such a mistake and partially fixed it, sacrificing his safety. This incident took place near one of the rivers of eastern Siberia in the time when everyone is enjoying the warm spring sun. It all started when a local man decided to go fishing. Since the fisherman's wife never expected a big catch from him, the man decided to fish from dawn to dusk. Barely able to find a shore free of plants, the fisherman set up his tackle and made his first casting. Surprisingly, the nibble was very active, which immediately changed his mood. Seized with excitement, he thought that a couple more hours and his bucket would be full of trout and other fish. Suddenly, a strange noise in the bushes caught his attention. He turned his head and saw 3 cubs coming out of the thicket. Even though they were not dangerous, he felt a strange chill run down his spine. He knew it was likely that their mother was walking somewhere nearby and would not like such a neighbor. Trying not to make any sudden movements, he began to slowly pack up his tackle. He kept his eyes on the cubs, who looked skinny and emaciated up close. He could not understand why the cubs were in such a poor state, so he took out some fish and put them in front of them. The cubs greedily ate the food. The fisherman could not help but bring tears to his eyes. Unfortunately, when he was watching the cubs, the fisherman noticed their mother bear who had come out of the forest. It was too late to run, and he stood still, gazing into the mother bear's eyes. But when he got a better look at her, he could barely control his scream. He was shocked at how old and infirm the bear was. He knew that in old age, bears often have only one baby calf, but there are exceptions. The fatal exception was the birth of 3 cubs that had not had enough milk to get stronger and healthier. Without hesitating for a second, the fisherman poured out his entire catch for the family. He knew that without help, the bears would die, because nature rarely forgives genetic mistakes, such as the one that happened to these animals. The fisherman returned home late that night. His wife scolded him for his lack of a catch, but the birds sang in his heart. The next day, he went to the river again, taking some food supplies from the house for the bears. None of the locals knew where the fisherman was going or who he was feeding in the woods. Luckily, thanks to the fisherman's diligence, the cubs were able to recover. The mother bear looked very weak, but the fisherman was confident that her cubs would survive. Many will probably blame the fisherman for his decision to save the family of bears, but you can't understand his motives, because children, even if they are forest predators, are always children, and to help them, it is the duty of everyone who proudly calls himself a human. If you liked this wonderful story, like, write a comment, and share the video with your friends. Goodbye, everyone.